This is Jabril from JabrilAgora.com, and today's business hero of the day is Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn is an entrepreneur that's influenced so many people and so many entrepreneurs around the world, including myself. And he was born September 17th, 1930. And, he's an American entrepreneur, an author, and he's a motivational speaker. His work has been influential in launching and furthering the career in many of the others big giants in the personal development industry. 'Cause I know for a fact, he influenced, Anthony Robbins, who is probably the biggest in the personal development industry today, and also he inspired Mark Victor Johansson, and also Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for the Soul, and Brad Sugars of Action Coach. And he was born in Idaho, a farming family in the mid 1900s. And Jim began his early childhood without acclaim, leaving college after his first year, starting a family and trying to get by as best as he could by a salaried worker. But by the age of 25, according to his accounts, he was he was in a personal rut familiar to many middle class families, in debt, unable to see his way that would lead him to his personal ambition. And I've listened to Jim Rohn a lot. I mean, there's hours, I mean, hundreds of hours of his information stored in my own personal brain. And I remember him telling his story about when he was 25, the aha moment, that really changed his life. Some Girl Scouts came to his house, and they they asked him, sir, would you like to buy some cookies? And he himself, he didn't have $5 in his pocket to buy these cookies, and it was enough pain right there to him to make a significant change in this, in his world. And from that moment on, he said, no matter how many Girl Scouts come, he'll buy all the boxes of Girl Scout cookies. And he said, he just wanted to get to the point first where he could have $500 in his pocket, because he knows, and everybody knows, $500 in your pocket feels a lot better than $500 in the bank. And some just little things like this, what really started his journey. And around this time, he was introduced to John Earl Schoaf, an entrepreneur who impressed Mr. Rohn, with his wealth and his business accomplishment, his charisma, and life philosophy. And Mr. Jim Rohn joined Mr. Schoaf in a direct sales organization and began to process of personal development that accumulated in becoming a millionaire by the age of 31. It was a source of sorrow to Mr. Rohn that Mr. Schoaf, who challenged him to reach for this goal, died 1 year before he achieved it. And in the years that followed, Mr. Rohn discovered a demand for the people outside of his industry to hear his rag to riches story. And the personal development philosophy that he felt had led him to his accomplishments. And his seminars span over, 40 over a 40-year career, and he addressed over 6,000 audience and 4 million people worldwide. And he is a recipient of the 1985 National Speaker of Association Award. And he is the author of 17 different books, audios and video programs, and he's been interviewed by countless of different people. And basically, one of my big mentors, Don, he introduced me to Jim Rohn. And I really didn't connect with Jim when I first heard him, but when I heard him again, it was something about him. And he also had, a slogan, profits are better than wages. And that could not be more true. And this is Jabril from JabrilAgora.com, and this is Jim Rohn. And check him out online, Google him, and you'll find a plethora of information on him. And make it a great day. And make sure you subscribe. Don't forget.